Okay, so we're diving straight into some powerful stuff today, huh? You guys send in this transcript of Blizz's YouTube video called Thin Line, and well, right off the bat, I gotta say, this isn't just some catchy song, you know? This is like peering right into this artist's soul, seeing his struggles, his journey in his own words.
Yeah, it really grabs you. It's raw, honest. Like we're overhearing a deep conversation he's having with himself about where he's been, what's changed him. So in this deep dive, let's try and unpack those key moments, understand what he's teaching us about facing life's curveballs and finding meaning.
Right on. So let's unpack Thin Line. The title itself already kind of sets this feeling of teetering on the edge. When you read through his words, what's he wrestling with? What's pulling him in different directions?
Well, he comes right out and says it. Early on, there's this line, drug and peace, depression and anxiety is not who I meant to be. It's like these forces are constantly at war inside him. Self-destructive stuff versus this deep need for peace. His mental battles clashing with this sense of like untapped potential.
It's super relatable.
Yeah.
Feeling like you're not quite living up to who you could be.
Not who I meant to be. Man, that hits home. I think everyone's felt that at some point.
Yeah.
Like your gut's telling you one thing, but your actions or what life throws at you leads you down a different path.
Yeah.
And then, boom, he brings in faith.
Yeah.
Jesus said that I am free, comes right after.
Right. That back and forth, that's at the heart of his whole story. The external struggles, the feeling of something missing, battling with this spiritual thing he's reaching for. It sets us up for him explaining what he used to rely on, how it left him empty. And he's super specific about that, too. He talks about wasted nights. And then there's this phrase, thumbing through my forus, sounds like for us, which makes me think social media, that whole online world. And this line really got me praying for more views instead of seeking guidance. Talk about messed up priorities.
It's the self-awareness, though, right? He recognizes he was chasing fleeting stuff, validation from outside himself, views, likes, instead of digging deeper for something real. It's a trap we all fall into sometimes, especially with the internet everywhere. These days, we mix up online metrics with actual personal growth. Like he says, I was seeking mice and its fortune trying to heal, but only gave me more wounds. Chasing quick fixes only made the real pain worse.
It's that vicious cycle, getting those temporary highs that just leave you feeling emptier in the end. And then he hits on something really tough. The whole struggle of asking for help. See, I've been needing help myself, but I refuse to seek it. I don't want your pity. You can keep it. I don't need it. You feel that resistance, that defensiveness?
Totally. There's vulnerability in admitting you need help.
Yeah.
And he wants to seem strong self-reliance, like he's got to keep up appearances. And the line right after, I'm a grown man, I got a family and all that, tells me he feels that pressure to be the provider, the rock. A lot of guys especially feel that societal expectation.
It's that whole messed up idea that needing help is weak, so damaging. And then, bam, he talks about this turning point, the power of his faith. He drops this line, all that I know without God, I still be begging for callbacks, so y'all can say that I would blow up if I laid him down. I already did that, and it wasn't worth what I found, and he repeats that last part. It wasn't worth what I found. It hits you hard.
That repetition, it's intentional. It underlines how disappointed he was chasing worldly success recognition. He went all in, laid him down, meaning he put those things first. And the result? Nothing but emptiness. Wasn't worth what I found. Perfect summary of a harsh lesson.
And he ties that into people judging him without knowing his past. They tell me stop begging who you are, but they do not know who I was before the bottle left the scars. It's like he's frustrated. People telling him to just be himself, but they haven't seen what he's been through. The struggle symbolized by the bottle.
That bottle line, whoa. It suggests maybe past alcohol issues, adding another layer to his internal battles. It shows how people's perceptions can be so far from the truth of who we are. And then there's this powerful image stuck inside the sinking sand. You can feel that trapped feeling, like you're fighting to get out, but only sinking deeper.
And the realization that living the life the world told me to was actually leading him towards death. That's deep. It's like he's saying following society's definition of success, happiness, it can actually be harmful if it doesn't fit who you really are deep down. He even gives us this raw glimpse of his old self. Rack and selfish, only cared to my desires. Wicked bugging out liquors to the fire, no sugarcoating there.
Yeah. He's owning his past mistakes. No pretending it was all rosy. This honesty makes his transformation story even more powerful. And from acknowledging that past that emptiness, he starts talking about a higher calling.
Exactly. He says, I can live 1,000 lives and none of them would hold a candle to the king. I could never be the sacrifice the world would need. I ain't even have to, man. I'm called to be, and he's still calling me. It's a total shift in perspective. He's not just aiming for earthly goals anymore. There's something bigger calling him. But he's also real about the fact that this journey isn't over. It's ongoing, right?
100%. He admits, been following when it's convenient, but never given all of me. Growth isn't always this sudden, complete change. It's about striving, falling short, getting back up again and again. He even mentions regret. I've wasted so much time acting as if I was Adam, and I'd never add if I was battling pride. Pride, ego, those are huge hurdles for him to overcome.
And he keeps circling back to that theme of chasing success without faith as a foundation and how it always left him unfulfilled. It's like this recurring lesson he's got to really learn. And then he brings us to the present, acknowledging the struggles and this search for balance.
And this is where you really see his vulnerability. I got to find some balance. My life is complicated even when I'm hanging by a thread. I act like I made it. That gap between how he feels inside and how he presents himself, so many people can relate to that. It's the pressure to have it all together even when you're falling apart.
It's like we're all wearing these masks sometimes.
Yeah.
And then he gets into faith and mental health, a really important topic that's not always easy to talk about. Outside the church, they say I should seek out, and inside they're telling me that Jesus is the answer. I believe he is, but I done put myself in a position where my mental health is way down at the bottom of the list. He's caught between these different viewpoints, struggling with how to prioritize his well-being.
What's insightful is he doesn't reject either side. He affirms his faith, but also recognizes he's got to take care of his mental health. Way down at the bottom of the list. Man, that paints a picture of how easy it is to neglect our mental and emotional needs when life gets crazy.
And that to-do list just keeps getting longer, huh? He says that list is ever growing. Other numbers take priority till I'm empty and I'm feeling like solitude is my normal. Feeling drained, isolated, even when you're surrounded by people. That's what happens when you neglect your inner self.
It shows that achievements, connections, none of that can fill the void inside. And yet, despite these struggles, he makes this firm declaration about his path.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Even through that, I could never go and lay him down. No amount of money is worth me wandering to not be found. That unwavering commitment, it feels like the core of his transformation. He's found what truly matters and he's not letting go.
Absolutely. He's made a conscious choice. And he even extends that to the whole online validation thing. No amount of likes and shares can fill the void inside my heart. They only leave you seeking more and take a piece of you. It's like social media is this addictive thing that promises satisfaction but only leaves you emptier.
That line, though, living for acceptance means I'm dying by the crowd. Wow, that's powerful. It's all about the pressure to fit in and how losing yourself in that crowd kills your spirit. A hard lesson he learned firsthand.
For sure. It all circles back to that realization that worldly success alone doesn't equal true happiness.
Yeah.
And then he shifts gears into reflection and gratitude.
You hear it in his voice. I praise God for all that he has done in my life. This has been a long journey. I've been saved now since November 22nd, 2009. That date, it's like this anchor for his transformation.
It makes it real tangible.
Yeah.
And his reflection on how we forget our past struggles, that's so human. Sometimes when you get in it for so long, you really forget where you come from. We adapt, we move on, and sometimes we lose sight of how far we've come.
And then finding that old footage, it was like a jolt back to reality. He says, that looks like somebody completely different, but that was me. It emphasizes how much he's changed on a fundamental level.
Seeing that visual proof of his past self must have been intense. It reinforces the massive transformation he's gone through. And he ends by giving credit to his faith. God changed me into who I am now, and I praise him for it. It brings his whole story full circle.
So we've gone deep into Blizz's story in Thin Line, and what we see is this incredible journey of inner conflict, the false promises of certain paths, the power of faith to spark, change, the constant struggle for balance, and ultimately the transformative power of self-awareness and commitment.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And his willingness to be so open about his vulnerabilities, it offers so much for you, our listeners. As you navigate your own lives, your own search for meaning, it's a powerful reminder that chasing validation from the outside can lead to emptiness. True fulfillment comes from something deeper from within.
Exactly. So think about this. What are the thin lines in your own life? What opposing forces are you dealing with? And what does fulfillment really mean to you? Not the stuff the world tells you, but what truly resonates inside you. It's worth some deep thinking.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been real.